Hey everyone, it's a big day here at Jank Junction. Time to celebrate with the community. We have reached 500 submissions for the Eternal Draft Project. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about that. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about how to access the data, how you can submit your data, and then how to use the results, or at least look at the results. So, all right, here we go. First things first, you need to head to jankjunction.com. Once you do, you'll arrive at this lovely page, and you want to click up here on the Eternal Draft Project. Once you do that, you will see the standard submission page, which if you've been submitting, you'll already be familiar with, but for those who aren't, it's pretty simple. You put in your number of wins, your number of losses, your current rank, and then you paste your exported deck list from the Eternal client, and that's very important. If you don't paste your external deck list straight from the client and you just type it in, then the data will not validate and it will not show up in the results. So be sure to export. But today we're here to celebrate and to talk about the results. So let's go ahead and click on the link to current raw data. And that takes us to this fantastically colorful page here. It's also a little bit intimidating. So first things first is that this is not editable by anyone besides the Jank Junction team. So what you're going to need to do is make a copy for yourself. So to do that in Google, you need to be signed up with an account. Go over here to File, down to Make a Copy. Then name it something like My Eternal Draft Copy, something like that. Let's see what I did wrong. All right, here we go. So it'll open up a new window, and you'll be able to mess with this as much as you want. You can break it, you can delete it, you can do whatever you want. But most importantly, you won't be affecting the actual data on the main draft project website. So when you first come into the spreadsheet, let's just give a quick tour. We've got the card name over here. We've got appearances. Appearances is the number of times that it's appeared in our data. So Centaur Outrider has only appeared in one deck. Icequake has appeared in 3 decks. Strength of the Pack, which is a legendary, has only appeared in 1, and so on and so forth. This is useful because 1 appearance is not enough, 3 is not enough, probably 20 is not even really enough. But until we get there, we've got these rankings based on the color, number of times they've appeared, so you can give you an idea of whether or not you should pay attention to the fact that it has a 100% win rate. And pro tip, if it's only got 1 entry, you definitely shouldn't. Over here we've got win percentage. This is just the straight win percentage for the card. Every time the card appeared, it's the win percentage for that deck, essentially. So with things that only have 1 entry, this means that 1 deck played it and that deck had a 66% win rate. For other things, you've got down here like something that has 50 means that the decks that it appeared on, that Zenith Initiation appeared in, had a total of a 68% win percentage. Next, we've got a 7 win percentage, which is the number of times that card has seen 7 wins, gotten to 7 wins. And it's a relevant metric because 7, you get 3 diamond chests, and while 4 and 5 wins are perfectly fine and wonderful goals to shoot for a draft deck, we're really interested in what makes a deck get to 7 wins. And as much as we're interested in how a deck gets to 7 wins and why, we also know that somewhere between 6 and 7 wins is where you can go quote unquote infinite, where you'll get enough gold back from those wins to draft again. So I think the 6 and 7 win percentage is also important. This is the number of times that a specific card has reached 6 or 7 wins. Next we have our rarity, and we've got thanks to Alpaca Lips from the subreddit, we've got the rest of the spreadsheet, which is essentially just the database of all the information that goes with the card. So we've got the card text, the rarity, its type, its subtype, strength and health, which set it was from, which faction it's from, its costs, when it was last updated and released, etc. So thank you to them for that. Okay, so you've got this data, we've got this spreadsheet, everyone's been submitting, but what do you do? Well, one of the first things I like to do is get rid of data that's not essential. So when you first make this copy, it's going to have these little green arrows here, and if they're not on your copy for whatever reason, you can go click up here in this corner to select the entire spreadsheet, go to data, and then you can turn on the filter. You can also turn them off here, but essentially it lets you filter by whatever condition that you want to set. So say one of the first things I like to do is let's get rid of everything that or we want to see only entries that we have at least 15 data points for. So go here and select that, and then we can see what the highest win rate is for cards that have appeared at least 15 times. And you can make this as strict or as less strict as you like. We could even say, let's see which cards will only look for things that have been drafted at least 50 times. And at this point, you'll start to see a lot of commons, some uncommons. So Adaptive Predator. What? So yeah, that's how the filtering works. It's super handy, and it allows people like me who don't have any skill with spreadsheets to sort of try and figure out what we can do with this data. So let's set this back to none so we get back to everything. So you can do things like sort by rarity. So let's say we only want to see the rare cards and the highest win percentages associated with those. Looks like Black Iron Manacles, awesome, but we've only got one appearance. So let's look at rares that have shown up more than 5 times. Seems reasonable for rares. Obliterate, yep, that sounds about right. Thunderstrike Dragon, Striking Snake Formation, all of these things. Auric Vigilante is actually a little surprising to me, but so yeah, so that's how you can start to do some interesting things. You can also sort by, like the set. So like, what if we only want to see things from the Empty Throne? It's like, what are the highest win rates for the set 1 cards? And let's look at, say, the uncommons. We can do that. So anyway, I think that should give you guys a good idea of how to go about using the tool, where to find it. I'm pretty excited about this. We've been asking for submissions since about the last week of August, and we're already at 500. I think that we could see a lot more. I know that everyone loves the draft, and we just had an event the last weekend, but I'd love to see us up around 1,500 or even 2,000 submissions. I think we could really start to see what the format is all about once that happens. So, all right, if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. If you thought this content was useful, please subscribe, and we will see you later. Thank you.